The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment people start feeling your presence. And in dating, that changes everything. Most men think attraction is about saying the right thing, texting at the right time, or proving they're worth choosing. But the harder a man tries to be chosen, the less attractive he becomes. Because attraction doesn't grow around desperation. It grows around emotional stability. And that is the Stoic secret most men never learn. Stay with me. Because once you understand this, you won't just see dating differently. You'll see yourself differently. Section 1. The lie most men believe. Most men are taught the same lie. They think if they try harder, text more, explain more, prove themselves more, then she'll finally choose them. But the harder they chase, the faster they lose. Why? Because chasing sends a message. Not with words. With energy. It says, I don't feel like enough unless you choose me. And that energy is impossible to hide. You can fake confidence in your words. You can fake strength in your posture. But you cannot fake inner certainty. People feel it. And the brutal truth is this. The more you need to be liked, the less magnetic you become. Read that again. The more you need to be liked, the less magnetic you become. Section 2. The Stoic secret. So what's the Stoic secret? It's simple. Detach from the outcome. Not from love. Not from connection. Not by becoming cold. Detach from the need to control whether someone chooses you. That one shift changes everything. A Stoic man can care without becoming consumed. He can show interest without losing his center. He can be honest without begging. Why? Because his worth was never on the table. Let that sink in. His worth was never on the table. That's what creates calm. That's what creates presence. That's what creates real confidence. Not the loud kind. The quiet kind. And in a world full of men chasing attention, quiet confidence feels rare. And rare men are remembered. Section 3. Why neediness kills attraction. Here's what most men miss. Attraction is not just about looks. It's not just about money. It's not just about status. A huge part of attraction is emotional experience. How do people feel around you? Do they feel pressure? Neediness? Emotional chaos? Or do they feel calm? Clarity? Strength? Because the moment interest starts feeling like pressure, attraction begins to die. That's why so many men sabotage themselves. She takes longer to reply. And his mind spirals. He checks his phone. Rereads the last text. Starts imagining the worst. Drafts a second message. Not because he's in love. Because he's afraid. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of silence. Afraid of not being enough. And fear has a smell. People feel it. That's why neediness kills attraction so fast. Not because caring is unattractive, but because emotional dependence is heavy. And nobody wants to carry your self-worth for you. Section 4. What Stoic men do differently. Stoic men move differently. When they like someone, they show interest, but they keep their standards. When someone pulls away, they don't panic. When communication gets inconsistent, they don't chase clarity through obsession. They observe. Because they understand something most men don't. Confusion is information. Read that again. Confusion is information. If someone values your presence, you won't have to decode every signal like a detective. A Stoic man doesn't destroy his peace for a maybe. And this might be the most important line in this video. A Stoic man never sacrifices his peace for a maybe. That one sentence can save you years of emotional damage. Section 5. Why calm men stand out. In today's world, everyone is addicted to attention. Instant replies. Constant validation. Endless proving. Endless chasing. So when someone meets a man who is present, but not needy, interested, but not desperate. Confident, but not arrogant. He stands out instantly. Why? Because he is not reacting like everyone else. He is not available to chaos. He stays centered. And centered men carry emotional weight. They don't need to dominate the room. Their presence already does the work. Because real masculinity is not loud. It's regulated. It's not aggression. It's self-command. And that kind of emotional discipline is incredibly attractive. Section 6. The shift that changes everything. Everything changes the day you realize this. You are not here to convince anyone to love you. You are here to become the kind of man who no longer abandons himself for attention. That is the shift. Because once you understand that, you stop chasing people and start building yourself. You stop begging for reassurance and start protecting your peace. You stop trying to be chosen and start becoming solid. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing attention, you become attention. The moment you stop chasing validation, you become valuable. The moment you stop abandoning yourself, people start noticing your presence. And that is what most men never understand. Section 7. The real goal. But listen carefully. If you use this mindset only to make someone chase you, you've already missed the point. The real goal is not to make someone obsessed. The real goal is to become so grounded, so disciplined, so emotionally free, that whether they stay or leave, you remain powerful. That is the real win. Because the strongest men are not the ones who can control a relationship. They're the ones who can stay whole without one. Read that again. The strongest men are not the ones who can control a relationship. They're the ones who can stay whole without one. That's strength. That's maturity. That's stoicism. So remember this. Stop chasing. Start becoming. Stop begging. Start building. Stop reacting. Start observing. Stop trying to be chosen. Start becoming the man who chooses himself. Because the man who controls himself never needs to control anyone else. The man who protects his peace never has to beg for attention. And the man who knows his worth never puts it in someone else's hands. That is the Stoic secret. Not manipulation. Mastery. Not mind games. Discipline. Not coldness. Control. Not ego. Peace. And peace is power. So if this hit you, subscribe. Because most men don't need more motivation. They need discipline. And this channel is for men who choose discipline over desperation.